शांति ओम शांति। तीसरा बारी बोलूं? सब बोलेंगे ओम शांति। अच्छा, गुड मॉर्निंग।
Today is Avyakt Bapdada's Murli. With great attention and love, we will listen to it, because in the path of knowledge, to come into the path of knowledge, to become a knowledgeable soul, and then to remain a constant yogi, is our dharma and our karma. Is this how it is for you? Because when we were in the path of ignorance, there was a great deal of darkness. It was ignorance. Now we have come into the path of knowledge. Marg is a word for the way. And Baba has shown us a very good way. In order for us to go along this way, he made us his own. If we don't become Babas, then it's not possible for us to walk the path of knowledge. Once we become his, then we can follow knowledge. That is, we can become a knowledgeable soul. It is Baba's love which made us belong to him, and then the study made us into a knowledgeable soul, because the soul is then filled with knowledge and ignorance is removed. It is true knowledge. So what is truth? As the days go by, you can see that as much as you absorb knowledge, there is greater recognition of what is truth. Okay, we were small, we were completely innocent, we became Babas and free from the things of outside. Gradually we understood what is truth. We started to understand who we ourselves are, and we became Babas. On one hand we are students, on the other side, who are we? We are a spiritual army together. When we speak of ourselves as a spiritual army, it is the army of Pandavas and Shaktis. It's possible for students to be careless, but that is not possible for the members of an army. Because we exist for the purpose of service. And so to follow that. For a child to obey is one thing, but for a member of an army to follow obediently, to be trustworthy and loyal is necessary. So that whatever is the way we are told, that is the way we must do. Baba always, since childhood, was saying to us, you are a spiritual army and therefore you will never die of starvation. Because you are within the army, you have come into the Pandav army and you have done that for the protection of the world. So my experience says that when you feel that you are part of an army, you feel the power of being a member of the Pandav army, and it is not possible to be careless. Remaining alert is an aspect of being in an army. Whether it's day or night, one must be alert. On one hand, you may have one, as a gopi, you may have one shoe on and one shoe off, but as a member of the army, the moment when you receive the order, you run with shoes on both. In that way, you will go and you have your weapons with you always. You'll never have to start looking for your weapons.
हथियार उसके ढूंढे
The minute when you start looking for your weapons, then what will be your condition? Or if you give some excuse, no one's going to listen to that.
इसलिए हम लोगों को सदा ही
Therefore, we people
बहुत माइंड से
must
body से
always, with our
healthy
mind
रहना
and
है।
body, keep ourselves healthy and wealthy. That means capable.
जितना मिल रहा है ना
So whatever it is that we have received in terms of the
खजाना भी है
treasure
तो
of
हथियार भी है।
knowledge, we have treasures and we also have weapons.
तो मुरली आज ऐसे
Today's
प्रत्येक
Murli,
वचन में से
as I
आया
was reading it, the feeling
कितना
came
बाबा
within
अच्छी
as
तरह
to
से
how
हमको
much
समझा
Baba
समझा
has
करके
taught us so much.
कितना ऐसे नहीं बुद्धि से समझदार
It's
बनाया है
not that we became intelligent through the intellect, but by understanding
निरंतर
what
योगी
yoga
रहो कभी
is,
अंतर बीच में न आवे
remain
ध्यान
always a yogi. Let there never be any difference in that connectedness. This one
अगर
must be
ज्ञानी तो
alert
आत्मा
about
और
that.
निरंतर
If you
योगी
are a
रहने का
knowledgeable
ध्यान नहीं
soul
रखा
and a constant yogi,
अभी
unless if you have
बहुत पीछे
attention
हम
on
लोगों ने
this,
कहना शुरू किया है भाई अभी हम योग में बैठेंगे ध्यान में
previously we
बैठेंगे
used to sit
पहले
in
कहते थे ये ध्यान
yoga.
में बैठी हुई
We
है
used to previously say we sat in
शुरू शुरू में
dhyan, and dhyan
कहते
has two
ध्यान में
meanings.
बैठी हुई
One hand it means attention, on the other hand it
है इसलिए
means
ध्यानी दादी का नाम ध्यान
trance.
नहीं रखा था
There's one Dadi called
जो
Dhyani.
आप
She
लोग
left the
ज्ञानी
body
दादी
a
हैं
long time ago.
शुरू
There
शुरू
was
में इतनी
Dhyani
वंडरफुल
Dadi. She was an amazing soul.
इतनी वंडरफुल उम्र की बड़ी
She was very old,
ध्यान इतना
but she had very deep, attentive
बहुत मीठी
yoga, and
बहुत
she was very, very sweet.
योगन भी
She was a
भोग
good
लगाती थी
yogi. She
ध्यान
used to
तो मानी
offer bhog. She was good in telling
अभी लगाई
knowledge.
नहीं इसकी उम्र का बड़ी है
We didn't realize that she was very old.
नहीं सदा ही अडोल चल रही
She was always stable and steady.
तो जो अपने ऊपर ध्यान रखते हैं ना
So
अडोल
anyone
चल
who pays attention to themselves, they are stable and
रहे
steady.
अपने ऊपर ध्यान नहीं है ना
If anyone is inattentive to themselves, sometimes they are up and down, sometimes they'll smile, sometimes they'll wilt.
तो मधुबन काहे के लिए है
What is the purpose of being in Madhuban?
अडोल अचल स्थिति
It
बनाने
is
के
to develop a very
लिए
stable, firm stage and to make oneself always alert, to have a loving intellect.
तो मैं मुरली मुझे सुनानी जरूर पर उसमें भी आता है
By telling the Murli, there is that point that it is through remembrance that there is love, and then there is power, and then through that power there is, if you have remembrance, then you love.
योग से बल ऐसा
And with the yoga, you absorb great power into yourself.
अपने में भर रहा है
The soul is filling power into the self, and also there is a great love in the interaction with the godly family. Wherever you put your foot for service, whatever thought you put, you always get easy success. We did not do it. It is the power of yoga, which is the power of Baba, which is doing the miracle and the wonder.
फिर निश्चय अंदर इतना पक्का
And then the
निश्चय
faith
निश्चय
becomes so
निश्चय
strong
से प्रीत
that
बुद्धि
there is faith. With faith, there is an unbreakable, loving intellect which makes you victorious under any circumstances.
तो ऐसे अपने आप को
In this way,
और किसके लिए कुछ नहीं करते हैं अपने
you
लिए
don't do anything for anyone else. Whatever you do it for yourself.
चार्ट देखेंगे ना सच पे जो
And if you look at your chart accurately, you find that you think about and do things for others a lot. But what are you doing for yourself? So listen to today's Murli.
अपन को देखो
Look at
खुद के लिए
yourself
मैं हम क्या करते
and ask yourself, what am I doing for me?
जो कुछ भी हो जाए
So that no matter what
खुद
happens,
के लिए किया हुआ है
whatever you have done for
मेरे
yourself,
प्रति भी बहुत यूजफुल है
it remains always useful, and wherever you are, you will use it. First, it's useful for yourself, and then you yourself become useful. Otherwise, you will not be so usable, not have such a good yogi stage, then you won't be very useful. And then you have that thought that perhaps I am not useful here. Why do you have that thought? Why not make yourself deeply internally
अपने पुरुषार्थ से
through your own personal effort, absorbing all of the attainment, why not make yourself so empowered and enriched? Help yourself. Learn from Baba to be always internally ready, even if you don't get a chance to speak or to travel, but make yourself ready, so that at the moment you get a signal, you will go. Because if somebody is ready to go, then whatever is absorbed into yourself, you can give it. You will not get confused about what to say and whether it'll be okay or not. If you think about those things, then there's no love of remembrance, nor is there the power of yoga, nor is there the victory that comes from faith. I had such great happiness by sitting in front of Baba, listening to the Murli, and this is what my life is based upon. So I am encouraging you. If you're not listening to the Murli, then you will become as if dead. If you're just observing from the side. One thing is, don't be far away, and the other is, don't look here and there, but be so focused on the Murli. Even now, the people at the back are still sitting at the back, so there's nothing I can do about that. I believe that you will get great benefit, and whatever is left, no matter what happens, if you do this, get really close with the Murli, then no matter what happens, it will not disturb you or cause you unhappiness or distress. Because this makes you very strong. All these excuses become afraid of you, and they realize that they can't attract you. Previously, you used to give various excuses because of this reason, but now all the reasons can't come near. They say, this one is very intoxicated and knows what they want, and so we can't come along and form an excuse. Again and again, I am telling you, if you love someone, you automatically remember them. If you have yoga, that feeling will come, and then you will get faith, and you will get a loving intellect which makes you victorious. And then it is the wonder of Baba. Listen to each word of Baba's carefully, even though Baba is avyakt. Baba is avyakt, but he says, you are my children. And so, just as Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba would talk to each other, and Shiv Baba says, are your children ready? The father is giving a complaint to the mother that there's some deficiencies still in the children. So the father, Shiv Baba, the mother, Brahma Baba, so the mother has to be very attentive to the stage of the children. And so today this is happening in the Murli. We can see how our parents, which is Bap Dada, are being attentive to what we children are doing. The heading is the Karmatit stage. Today, Bap Dada is seeing the children, especially in all four directions. Baba had gone traveling all around the world to see his children. Just as in the path of bhakti, all of you have traveled a great deal. And you traveled to the different pilgrimage places. So Bap Dada also today had gone to all the directions, to the places on a pilgrimage of the places where the true Brahmins are. Wherever we are is a pilgrimage place, and you realize this, and this is my very wonderful experience going to the centers. Seeing all the places, Baba saw the children and their stage.
किसको ये अनुभव है बाबा परिक्रमा लगा रहा है
Do you have that feeling that Baba is traveling to where you are and seeing our place and our stage? Put your hands up if you have experienced this.
ये अनुभव बहुत न्यारा प्यारा
This is a very extraordinary, unique experience.
बाकी हाथ नहीं उठा रहे हैं
Many are not putting their hands up. You haven't experienced this.
अच्छा स्थान
The place
भिन्न भिन्न विधि पूर्वक सजे हुए थे
were the places were arranged in various wonderful ways. Some were attractive because of their physical facilities. Some were attractive because of the vibrations of tapasya.
कोई त्याग और
And
श्रेष्ठ
some
भाग्य
were attractive because of the ones who were
त्याग और
having
श्रेष्ठ
the
भाग्य
renunciation and elevated fortune. That is, they were in their elevated atmosphere of their spirituality, and this created a strong attraction in the atmosphere. This is the very most important aspect of service.
जहाँ बाबा का
Wherever you have Baba's place, make its vibrations simple and elevated, clean.
वो स्थान
Such a place is filled with attraction,
आता है
and Baba is drawn to such a place.
कोई कोई साधारण स्वरूप में दिखाई दिए
There are some which seem very ordinary
सभी
places.
ईश्वरी याद के स्थान
All the places where Baba's remembrance is going on were seen in different ways.
क्या देखी
And what were the stages Baba saw?
इसमें भी भिन्न भिन्न
Baba saw that there were many different kinds of
ब्राह्मण बच्चों की
stages
स्थिति
among the different Brahmins.
देखी। समय प्रमाण
According to the time,
तैयारी कहाँ तक है
Baba is seeing to what extent the children are prepared.
यह देखने के लिए ब्रह्मा बाप खास गए थे
And Brahma Baba specially went to check on this.
परिक्रमा लगाने
And he traveled to all the places to see,
समय प्रमाण क्या तैयारी करके बैठे
according to the present time, how far are all prepared. Brahma Baba said,
सर्व बंधनों से बंधन मुक्त
they are free from all the bondages
योग युक्त
and
जीवन
yogyukt.
मुक्त एवरेडी है
Are they yogyukt and free in their lives and ever ready and free from bondages?
युक्त जीवन मुक्त
Are they free?
एवरेडी है
Are they ever ready?
समय का इंतजार है
Are they simply waiting for time? Are they ready to that extent?
इंतजाम हो गया है
Have they made all the preparations and are simply waiting for the call of time?
बाप दादा की आपस में रोरियां चली
So Bap and Dada were discussing this among themselves.
शिव बाबा बोले
Shiv Baba said,
चक्कर लगा के देखा
you saw having travelled around,
शिव बाबा बोले चक्कर लगा के देखा
you saw having travelled around, to what extent are they free from bondages?
योग युक्त कहाँ तक बने हैं
To what extent have they become firm in yoga?
क्यों बंधन मुक्त आत्मा ही
Because a soul who is free from bondages
जीवन मुक्ति का अनुभव कर सकती है
can easily experience a life of freedom.
कोई भी हद का सहारा नहीं
There is no limited support being used.
अर्थात बंधनों
That
से
is to
किनारा
say,
है
they have
हद का
stepped
सहारा नहीं
to the side of all the bondages, and they are all on one side.
अगर किसी भी प्रकार का
If any kind of small or big,
स्थूल व सूक्ष्म
subtle or physical
मनसा सेवा कर्म से
thing
हद
for
का कोई भी
the
सहारा है
service of the mind, is there any limited support that you're taking, then you're not able to be free from bondages.
हाथ उठाओ जिनको मन में
So put your hand
जवाब
up
मिल रहा है
if you're getting these answers,
जो अपनी बातें कमजोरियां जो
and
कुछ रहा हुआ है
whatever is the
आगे बोली सुनना पर थोड़े से
support
टेंशन
that's
है।
still being
जो
taken,
मुझे चाहिए वो मुझे जब
and
बाबा का
whatever
मिल
that
रहा
you
है,
need, are you getting it all from Baba?
शक्ति का
Understanding,
सहारा मिल रहा है।
power? Are you getting everything from Baba, or are you still leaning on someone else? Put your hand up if you're getting it. You're having the experience that this is happening. If any kind of small or big, subtle or physical, through your action or your mind, you are taking support of something, then it is not possible for you to be free from bondages. You will be tied up. So in order to check this, Brahma Baba specially went today on a tour to visit all the places. And what did he see? He saw that the majority are free from gross bondages. Any visible physical bondage, which is like a rope, they have already stepped aside from those. However, there are some extremely subtle bondages or threads which are still there, that unless you have a very subtle intellect, you are unable to see them or perceive them. Just as the scientific people of today, in order to see very subtle things, they use very powerful microscopes and then they are able to see them. You cannot see them with the naked eye. In the same way, have you developed your subtle power of discernment? If you have, then only you're able to observe or perceive the subtle bondages, or also if you have a very subtle and refined intellect. So you need a very subtle power of discernment as well as a very refined intellect in order to see yourself and perceive yourself accurately. Because if you have the power to see subtle bondages, or through the refined intellect, you can know. If you observe yourself superficially, then you are not able to see them or perceive them. Consequently, you believe that you are in freedom, but you are not really, because you're not checking subtly. Brahma Baba was checking the subtle supports that you are taking without realizing it. And the greatest kind of support that you're taking are of two varieties. One is in a very subtle form. You're taking the subtle support of some service companion. This was visible. And there were many varieties within this. If somebody is cooperative with you in service, or because they become instrumental to develop the service, or they have a speciality or a special virtue, or they're able to harmonize with your sanskaras in a special way, or according to time, they give you extra help. Because of these reasons, they appear to be the companions in service, but because you are subservient to their support, you are bonded to them through a subtle form of attachment. So are you bound? I can still see a few people are falling asleep, so I feel very merciful that you're missing out on this extremely important information that Baba is giving. In a very subtle way, Baba is drawing our attention to develop a subtle intellect. It's because you are subservient to somebody's special qualities that you are getting bound to them. You forget who gave them these qualities. These are the gifts of Baba that are being manifested through them. Or you believe that this is a very good cooperative person, and has very good specialities. They're very virtuous. But according to time, Baba has made them like this, and you forget that he made them that way. Even at the level of thought, if your intellect is subservient to someone, or that means impressed by someone, this is a very clear, important clarification. If you're impressed with somebody, then that means you make them your support. And then in the physical form, because they are cooperative with you, according to time, instead of remembering Baba, you remember that person. You don't remember Baba, you remember them. Even if it's for 2 or 4 minutes, if you are aware of your physical support, then at that moment you are not remembering that Baba is your support. Even for 2 to 4 minutes you remember that support, then will you remember that Baba is in fact my support? Secondly, if for 2 or 4 minutes you break your link of the pilgrimage of remembrance, then after having broken it, what will happen? You have to make the effort to reconnect it. Because instead of being constant, there was a fluctuation in it or a break in the connectedness. Instead of having the comforter of hearts within your heart, you, for one reason or another, connected your heart to someone else. You get impressed with them because you say, oh, I like talking to this one, I like sitting with this one. It is through this. When you say this one, through this one, I like speaking, I like sitting with them. Through this one, it means you created a stain. So you see where this happened, how you break. These are really important points. They become helpful. But you say, oh, I like to sit with this one, and because of this one, it means you got into a defeated stage and you got defeated, deceived. You say you like everyone, but you like this one a little bit more, then that is called deception. To have spiritual love with everyone, to talk with everyone, or take cooperation from everyone, or to give cooperation is a separate thing. See the specialities and the virtues, but if you say, well, this one has really special, then it creates an obstacle. And this creates the problem. You say this one is special, and this word, this one, creates the disturbance. And this is the meaning of attachment, the definition. Even though externally it looks like service, and there's knowledge and yoga, when you say this one is the one I want to have meditation with, this one has good yoga, then there is this word, this one, shouldn't come. Say this one can be helpful in service, this one is the companion I want in service. Then you can understand the definition of attachment and that you are bound or bonded into that soul. So you must remove this word, this one. All are good. See the specialities, become cooperative, make others cooperative, but first there's a little bit of involvement and then gradually it takes a terrifying form.
फिर खुद ही उससे निकलना
And then
चाहते हैं तो
you
निकल नहीं
want to
सकते।
get out of it, but you can't,
क्यों पक्का धागा हो जाता है।
because the rope became very strong.
पहले बहुत सूक्ष्म होता है,
Initially, it's very
पक्का हो
slight,
जाता है तो
but
टूटना मुश्किल हो जाता
it
है।
becomes strong, and then it's difficult to break.
सहारा एक बाप है।
In fact, your support is only one
मनुष्य
Baba.
आत्मा मेरा सहारा नहीं
No
है।
human soul can be my support.
फाउंडेशन
This is the
सहारा मेरा
foundation.
एक बाप है।
My support
ये
is
मनुष्य
Baba.
आत्मा मेरा सहारा
No
नहीं है।
human soul can be my support.
बाप किसको भी संयोगी निमित्त बनाता है,
Baba can make anyone the instrument to cooperate,
लेकिन बनाने वाले को
but
तो नहीं भूलो ना।
do not forget the one who made them that.
बाप किसी को भी कभी संयोगी
Baba
बनाए,
can make
बनाने
anyone
वाले
your
को तो नहीं भूलना
cooperative
ना।
soul, but don't forget who made them that.
बाप ने बनाया है।
Baba had made them
बाप
that.
बीच में आने से
And when Baba
जहाँ
is
बाप
in
होगा, वहाँ
between,
कभी पाप नहीं
wherever
होगा।
Baba is there can never be any sin.
बाप बीच से निकल जाता तो पाप
When
होता।
you remove Baba from in between, then the
एक
relationship
बात है
becomes
ये
a
सारी।
sinful one. So one thing is you're taking support.
दूसरी बात,
Then the other thing,
कोई न कोई साकार साधनों को सहारा बनाया है।
you make some facility, some physical facility as your
साधन है तो
support.
सेवा है।
If it's a facility and you use it for
साधन में थोड़ा
service,
नीचे ऊपर हुआ
but if
तो
your
सेवा भी नीचे
equipment
ऊपर हुई।
is up and down, then your service becomes up and down because
साधनों
you're
को कार्य में
supporting
लगाना वह
yourself.
अलग बात है।
To use the equipment for service
लेकिन
is
साधनों
separate,
के वश हो सेवा करना,
but to come under to be impressed
यह
by
है
the
साधनों को
equipment,
सहारा बनाना।
it means that you make the equipment into your support.
साधन सेवा के वृद्धि के लिए है।
So equipment exists to develop service, and this is why we use the equipment according to necessity,
साधनों को
but
आधार नहीं बनाओ।
do not make the equipment your foundation,
आधार एक बाप है।
because your foundation is the one Father.
साधन तो विनाशी है।
These pieces of equipment are perishable,
विनाशी साधनों को
and if you make perishable equipment as your support,
अर्थात
it means
जैसे साधन विनाशी है,
just as the equipment is perishable, the same way your stage,
सहारा बना दिया उसको। स्थिति भी
if your
कभी बहुत
stage
ऊंची, कभी बीच की,
sometime very high and sometimes very
कभी नीचे
ordinary,
की बदलती
sometimes
रहेगी, कभी
very
ऊंची,
low,
नीची, बदलती रहेगी।
your stage will be
अविनाशी एक
fluctuating,
स्थिति नहीं रहेगी।
and you will never be able to have an imperishable, stable stage.
दूसरी बात,
Second thing
विनाशी साधनों का सहारा
is the support that you take of physical
आधार नहीं
equipment.
समझो।
Do not consider this as your support.
यह निमित्त मात्र है।
It is
सेवा को
instrumentally there for service,
सेवा अर्थ कार्य में लगाया और न्याय।
and you use it for service and then become detached.
साधनों के आकर्षण में
The
मन
attraction
आकर्षित नहीं होना
of
चाहिए।
equipment should not draw your mind to itself.
तो ये दो प्रकार के
So
सहारे
these two forms of support
सूक्ष्म रूप में आधार बना हुआ देखा।
were seen as being used as subtle supports by many Brahmins. Baba saw this.
जब कर्मातीत अवस्था होनी है
Since you have to attain the karmatit
तो
stage,
हर व्यक्ति
then every person,
हर व्यक्ति वस्तु
every
कर्म
person,
के बंधन से
object
अतीत होना,
is such that you have to become free from them, detached from them.
कर्म बंधन से अतीत होना,
You have to be free from any karmic bondage with them,
कर्मातीत अवस्था
and to remain above and beyond them is the definition of the karmatit stage. To be karmatit means not to stop doing any karma, no, but it means to be free from the bondages of karma.
न्यारा बनकर कर्म करना,
Become detached and perform the actions means to be detached from karma.
कर्मातीत अवस्था
And the
अर्थात
karmatit stage means
बंधन मुक्त
to be free from bondages in a yogic stage and experience freedom in your life.
और विशेष बात
And the special thing
यह देखी
that has also been seen
कि समय प्रति समय
is that from time to time,
परखने की शक्ति में
in terms of your power of
कई बच्चे
discernment,
कमजोर हो जाते हैं,
many children are somewhat weak.
परख नहीं सकते हैं,
They are unable to discern,
इसलिए धोखा खा लेते हैं।
and because of that, they get easily deceived.
परखने की शक्ति
The power of discernment being weak,
कमजोर परखने की शक्ति कमजोर होने का कारण है
the reason for it becoming weak
बुद्धि के लगन एकाग्र नहीं है,
is that your focus of attention of love of the intellect is not concentrated and stable.
जहाँ एकाग्रता है
Wherever there is
वहाँ
concentration,
परखने की शक्ति स्वतः ही बढ़ती है।
the power of discernment naturally and automatically intensifies.
सारे दिन में अपनी
All day, you must see if you're accumulating the power of concentration. This is very necessary for you to do through the day. Once you have attained the power of concentration, then your power of discernment automatically intensifies.
एकाग्रता अर्थात
Concentration means
एक बाप के साथ
that you are only
मगन रहना,
merged in the love of the one Father.
एकाग्रता की निशानी
And the sign of concentration
उड़ती कला के अनुभूति की
is that you always experience the flying stage.
की निशानी
The sign of concentration is that you always experience the stable stage of being in the flying stage.
एक रस का अर्थ ये नहीं
The concentration does not mean
ये नहीं कि वही रफ्तार हो एक रस
that you are moving at the same speed,
जैसे चलते आ रहे हैं ऐसे चल रहे हैं।
just as you're cruising along. That is not the concentrated stage.
एक रस अर्थात
But concentration means
उड़ती कला की महसूसता रहे।
that you experience constant acceleration. This is concentration.
जो कल था
Whatever was your stage yesterday, today you experience you're going further ahead and faster.
नित्य नवीनता नित्य आगे बढ़ावा
Your original stage is coming
इसको
closer.
कहा जाता है उड़ती कला।
This is called the flying
तो
stage.
स्वोन्नति के लिए
So for your personal development
सेवा की उन्नति के लिए
and for the progress of service,
परखने की शक्ति बहुत आवश्यक है।
you need a very good power of discrimination.
परखने की शक्ति
The power of
कमजोर होने
discrimination,
के कारण
because it is weak,
परखने की शक्ति कमजोर होने के कारण
because your power of
अपनी
discrimination
कमजोरी
is weak,
कमजोरी
you
नहीं समझते।
are not able to realize that your weaknesses are in fact weaknesses. You
और
think
ये
that you're
अपनी
okay,
कमजोरी को छिपाने के लिए
and you hide your weaknesses, or you try to prove yourself right, or you get stubborn.
ये दो बातें
These two
छिपाने
things,
का विशेष साधन है, सिद्ध करना जिद करना।
to prove yourself or to be stubborn are the two things where you try to hide your weaknesses, because internally you do not feel
परखने की शक्ति न होने के कारण
that they are weaknesses due to having insufficient power of discernment. You think you're always right and you think you're clever.
समझा?
Have you understood this?
कर्मातीत तो बनना है ना,
We all have to become karmatit, don't we?
नंबर तो लेना है ना,
We have to take a number
इसलिए चेक करो,
and therefore check.
अच्छी तरह से योग युक्त बनना,
Make yourself very yogyukt
परखने की शक्ति धारण करो,
and acquire the power of discrimination in a refined
एकाग्र
degree.
बन करके फिर चेक करो।
Make your intellect very concentrated and check this.
तो जो भी सूक्ष्म कमी होंगी
And whatever are your subtle insufficiencies,
एकाग्र बुद्धि
through a concentrated intellect,
वही हमको मदद करेंगे ना, बंद करके फिर चेक करो,
which will help you
जो
to
भी
check.
सूक्ष्म कमी होंगी,
And then whatever are your subtle weaknesses will be visible clearly.
ऐसा न हो जो
It
आप
should not be that you think,
मैं बहुत राइट हूँ,
I am absolutely right
बहुत अच्छी चल रही हूँ,
and I'm doing really well.
कर्मातीत मैं ही बनूंगी,
I am the only one who is becoming karmatit.
और जब समय आए
But then when the time
बंधन
comes,
उड़ने न देवे,
these subtle bondages will prevent you from flying.
अभी तो करके सारी समझा, कर्मातीत समझी,
You think that you're free, but these little subtle bondages won't allow you to fly and they will pull you to
तो
themselves.
समय पर क्या करेंगे?
And so then at that time, what will you do?
बंधा हुआ व्यक्ति
A person who is bound, if he wants to fly, will he fly or will he come back down again?
बंधा हुआ व्यक्ति
If he's tied,
अगर उड़ना चाहे तो उड़ेगा,
if he
वहाँ
wants
नीचे आएंगे।
to fly, will he fly or will he come back down?
तो ये सूक्ष्म बंधन समय पर नंबर लेने में,
So at the time to get a number, to go with Baba, to be with Baba, these you will not be able to do if you still have these subtle bondages. And this is why Baba went to check on this.
जिसको ये सहारे समझते हैं वे सहारा नहीं है,
You think that it's a companionship, but it's a royal rope. And there is the example of the golden deer. Where did it take Sita?
तो सोना हरण ये बंधन है,
So these bondages are like golden
तो
deers.
सोना समझना माना,
To think that
अपना
it's
श्रेष्ठ
gold
भाग्य को खोना,
means that you are losing your great fortune, your elevated fortune.
सोना नहीं है खोना है,
It is not gold, it is a deception, it is fake.
अशोक वाटिका को
And
खोया,
she lost Ram and she lost the cottage that is free from sorrow.
ब्रह्मा बाप का
So Brahma Baba
बच्चों से विशेष प्यार है,
has very special love for his children.
इसे ब्रह्मा बाप सदा बच्चों को अपने समान,
And Brahma Baba always wishes his children to be like himself, ever ready,
बंधन मुक्त देखने का,
free from bondages. He wants to see this in his children.
बंधन मुक्त का ही नजारा देखा ना,
And you see if somebody is
कितने में
free.
एवर रेडी हुआ,
He wanted to see how far everyone is
किसके
ever
बंधन में
ready
बंधा,
and who is in what kind of bondage.
कोई याद आया,
Did you remember somebody? Did you think, where is somebody?
फलानी सेवा की साथी है, याद आया,
And if somebody is your service companion, do you remember
एवर
them?
रेडी का पार्ट,
So the part of
कर्मातीत स्टेट का पार्ट देखा ना,
the being ever ready of Karmatit stage of Brahma Baba, you saw, didn't you?
बच्चों से अति प्यार रहा,
As much as he had extreme love for the children, to that extent you saw that he was detached as well as loving.
बुलावा आया और गया,
He received the call and he left.
नहीं तो सबसे ज्यादा
Otherwise,
बच्चों से प्यार ब्रह्मा का रहा है ना,
Brahma Baba had the greatest love of all for the children.
जितना प्यारा उतना न्यारा,
But as much as he had love, so much was he detached.
देख लिया ना,
And you saw that he went beyond
कोई भी चीज
anything
अथवा भोजन
or food.
जब तैयार हो जाता है
When
तो
it's
किनारा
ready,
छोड़ देता है ना,
it separates from the sides, especially when you make halva. When it's ready, it detaches from the saucepan sides.
संपूर्ण होना,
So to become complete means to let go of the sides.
ट्रांसलेशन ठीक मिल रही है,
I hope you're getting an adequate translation. Daddy is wondering if it's acceptable.
किनारा संपूर्ण होना,
To be complete means to leave go of the sides.
किनारा छोड़ना,
To
माना
leave
किनारे
go
हो
of the
गए।
sides means you are free.
ऐसी मुरली मैं कहती हूँ,
And so this Murli, such a Murli, is so lovely. Every single word of this Murli, if it goes deeply into you, So wonderful.
एक ही अविनाशी सहारा है मेरा,
You have only one imperishable support,
अविनाशी सहारा है.
only the one imperishable. Neither a human being nor any object could be your support.
इसको ही कहते हैं कर्मा.
And when you are at this stage, this is called karmatit.
छिपाओ कभी नहीं.
Do not hide anything.
छिपाने से वृद्धि को पता
Because
चलता है.
if you hide something, its impact on you is going to
बात बड़ी
intensify.
नहीं होती.
It may be a small thing, but as much as you hide it,
इतना बात
to
को
that
बड़ा करते
extent,
जाते हैं.
it will get a bigger obstacle in your way. And I've seen this in practical. As much as it is hidden, as so much it gets big. If you tell the problem immediately, then it can be removed. As much as you try to prove yourself right, to that extent the obstacle will increase.
जितना जिद करते हैं
As much as you become stubborn,
उतना बात बढ़ती है.
to that extent the problem increases.
बात को न बढ़ाए.
This is why
छोटे
do
को
not
सही समाप्त करो.
try to make it bigger, but finish it off while it's still small, and then it'll be easy and you will be happy.
ये बात हुई, ये भी पार किया.
If you say, oh, this
इसमें
happened,
खुशी होगी.
you finished the thing, you got over it, and you enjoyed the victory.
समझा.
Do you understand?
विदेशी कर्मातीत अवस्था को पाने वाले
The double foreigners are very enthusiastic to attain the karmatit stage. Is that right? Baba gives you so much love.
डबल विदेशी
The
बच्चों
double foreigner children
को विशेष सूक्ष्म पालना दे रहे हैं.
are being given special sustenance from Brahma Baba. This is the sustenance of love. It is not teachings or warnings, but it is sustenance. Do not think that these are strict warnings, but these are sustenance. Do you understand? It is the sustenance of Baba's love, because Brahma Baba
बच्चों को विशेष आह्वान से पैदा किया.
had given you birth through thought. He had invoked you with his mind.
ब्रह्मा के संकल्प से आप पैदा हुए हैं.
You got birth through the mind of Baba.
कोठी के नजारे सामने आते
I keep remembering the scenes of Bridge Koti, how Baba used to invoke the souls while sitting in tapasya in Bridge Koti.
ब्रह्मा के संकल्प से आप पैदा हुए हो.
You got born through the thought of Brahma. They believe that Brahma created the world by thought, and Brahma's thought had created Brahmins and created such a world.
संकल्प से
And so it is the thought of Brahmas which had invoked you, and you are special souls who are created through the invocation of Brahma. Let this smile come over your face to realize that you have been directly created by the mind of Brahma and invoked by his thought.
हमारे लिए आह्वान
He had sat and brought us into being, and now he is sustaining us and supporting
का
us.
सहारा बन न जावे.
So do not become anyone's, do not use anyone else as a support. Baba is giving you so much support, so you don't need anyone else.
लाडले हो गए ना.
So you are very deeply beloved.
आप समझते हैं.
Brahma Baba thinks that
फर्स्ट के आने के उमंग उत्साह वाले
these are the ones who have the enthusiasm to make a fast effort and arrive first. The double foreign children
श्रृंगार करने की बातें चल रही है.
are being specially decorated.
बच्चों के
The specialities and special decoration of the double foreigners is going on, and this is the conversation between Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba.
प्रश्न भी करेंगे.
There are
प्रश्न
questions,
भी करेंगे. फिर समझेंगे भी जल्दी.
and then it will be understood. Yes, quickly it is going to happen. These are specially those who have special understanding. Therefore, the Father wishes everyone to become like himself, free from all bondages, and he is giving you the signal to get free and be with Baba.
ऐसे नहीं कि जो
It is
सामने
not
है
that whatever
हम उनको
is
बता रहे
in
हैं,
front of whoever
सब
is in
बच्चों
front
को
of
बता रहे
Baba,
हैं,
Baba
जो
is
सामने
talking to
बैठे
them
उनको नहीं
only.
सुना,
Baba is
सब
talking
बच्चों को
to
बाबा बता
all
रहे
the
हैं।
children.
बाप के आगे
In front of
सदा
Baba,
सभी
at
ब्राह्मण
all
बच्चे,
times, all
चाहे
the
देश
Brahmin
के हैं,
children are
चाहे
there,
विदेश के
whether
हैं,
it is
सब
the
बाप के
children
सामने
of
हैं।
this land or of foreign countries, all are in front of Baba.
अच्छा,
Acha.
आज ये रूहरान कर रहे हैं।
Today, this was the
सुना
conversation
है
between
ना,
Bab and Dada.
अगले
You
वर्ष
heard
में इस वर्ष की रिजल्ट बहुत अच्छी है।
you are doing much
इससे
better this
सिद्ध
year than
है
last year,
कि
and
को
this is
पाने
the
वाली
proof
है।
that you are moving ahead.
उड़ती कला में जाने वाली
And
आत्माएं
you
हैं।
are souls who are going
वृद्धि भी
in the
है
flying
और
degree.
उड़ती
There is
कला में
progress,
जाने
and
वाली
also
आत्माएं हो,
you are in the flying
जिसको
degree.
योग्य देखा जाता
And
है।
so you are
दूसरा,
seen to be
जिसको
worthy.
योग्य देखा जाता
Anyone who
है,
is seen
उनको
as
संपूर्ण
worthy,
योगी बनाने का
there
इशारा
is
दिया जाता है।
the signal for them to become the
ये
perfect
बात
yogi.
गहरी है।
This is very,
जिसको
very deep.
योग्य
When
देखा
Baba
जाता
sees that you are
है,
worthy, then
उनको
he gives
संपूर्ण
you the
योगी
signal to
बनाने
become the
का
perfect yogi.
अंडरलाइन करो अंदर से,
Underline this
इशारा
point.
दिया जाता है।
He gives you that signal.
श्रृंगार भी हुआ, शिक्षा भी हुई,
He
सावधानी भी
taught
मिली,
you, he
इशारा भी।
cautioned you, he decorated
अच्छा,
you, and he gave you the signal.
सदा कर्म बंधन मुक्त,
Acha, to those who are always free from
योग
karmic
युक्त
bondages, who are yog yukt,
आत्माओं को
such
सदा
souls
एक बाप को सहारा
who
बनाने वाले
always,
बच्चों को,
the children who always make only the father their unique and single
सदा
support,
सूक्ष्म कमजोरियों से भी
those who are always free
किनारा
from
करने वाले
subtle
बच्चों को
weaknesses,
सदा
who are always,
एकाग्रता द्वारा
through their power of
परखने की
concentration,
शक्तिशाली बच्चों को
increasing their power of discernment,
व्यक्ति
who are
व वस्तु के
always
विनाशी सहारे से
free from
किनारे
taking the
करने वाले
support
बच्चों
of
को
perishable people and objects.
ऐसे बाप
Such
समान
souls who are like the
जीवन
Father, experiencing
कर्मातीत
freedom
स्थिति में
in
स्थित
life,
रहने
and
वाले
who hold themselves steady
विशेष
in the
बच्चों
karmatit
को
stage, such
बाप
special
दादा का
children, to such ones,
याद
Bap
प्यार और
Dada's love,
नमस्ते।
remembrance, and namaste.
वरदान,
The blessing is,
साधनों को
equipment
निर्लेप व न्यारे बन
to make yourself
कार्य में लगाने वाले
detached from equipment whilst
बेअदब
using
वैरागी
it
भव है।
in service is the attitude of unlimited disinterest, to be unaffected and detached from the equipment that's used in service is unlimited
बेहद के वैरागी
disinterest.
अर्थात
Unlimited disinterest means
किसी में भी लगाव नहीं,
that you are not
सदा
caught
बाप
up
के प्यारे
in
हैं।
attraction or in being impressed by
यह
anything,
प्यारापन
but
ही
you
न्यारा
always
बनाता
have
है।
love for Baba. It is this deep love for Baba that makes you detached and disinterested from everything.
बाप का प्यारा नहीं तो
If you do
न्यारा भी
not
नहीं बन
have love for
सकते।
Baba, it is not possible for you to attain
लगाव में
the
आ जाएंगे।
disinterested stage, but you will get caught up in some or another attraction and attachment.
गुप्त प्रैक्टिस चाहिए न्यारा।
So it is a very secret inner practice to do to make yourself completely
बाप का
detached.
प्यारा है,
Those who have a really
वह
deep
सर्व
love for
आकर्षण
Baba,
से परे
they are detached from all forms of
अर्थात न्यारा
attraction. That is
होगा।
to say, they are disinterested and they are beyond.
इसको ही कहते हैं निर्लेप स्थिति।
And so this is called the immune stage.
कोई भी हद के आकर्षण के लेप में आने वाला
You do not come under the impact or get impressed by
रचना व
any
साधनों को
material thing.
निर्लेप होकर कार्य में लाएं।
You use things and you
ऐसे
take cooperation
बेहद
from
के
people without
वैरागी
getting
ही
caught up in them. Such
राज ऋषि हैं।
unlimited, immune and disinterested souls are Raj Rishis. The slogan is,
दिल की सच्चाई सफाई हो
let there be cleanliness and honesty in the
तो साहब
heart,
राजी हो जाए।
then the Lord will be very pleased.
दिल की
when there is cleanliness and honesty in the heart,
पहले सफाई
first there has to be cleanliness and then honesty, then the Lord is pleased.
ओम शांति
Om Shanti.
कितना शुक्रिया करें बाबा का
How much would we thank Baba for such a deep teachings that decorate us and sustain us and support us.
समान बनाता है
He's making us like himself.